Right, so I've been busy. I've made 3 more molds. So I printed these off as my kind of casing templates, and I made one a little bit deeper than the other, as you can see. And then I made the inside a little bit tighter because this was the one I've made so far in silicone. First of all, it's a bit wibbly wobbly. I think it needed to be tighter. And also, I've not used the grey pigment or the black pigment because it does tend to make the silicone a little bit more wobbly. And here's the 2, oh, I'll use this one actually. Here's the 2 finished products. So you can see I've got 2 sizes. And it turns out that I thought the larger one that would actually go, if I can see, if you see closer, there's a little ridge there. I thought if the larger one would go over, push down, but actually you can see this got a little gap in there with the larger one, but I think that would be waterproof anyway. It does stick on quite well, but that one sticks on quite well as well. So I've made a few. There we go. I'll take them down to the boat, put them in my little spare parts box that I keep on the boat, and from now on we'll make sure if we keep that battery on the boat, we'll keep it nice, and we'll keep the connectors nice and waterproof inside here. Yeah, and I've got these little molds here, so as long as you use the Mac Wax when you do any more silicone molding, I've actually got these molds that I can keep to make some more of these if I need to. So I've had this battery for blooming ages, and I've actually got a newer one now. I actually thought I broke this a long time ago, but well, I did. I damaged a fuse inside, so I bought a new one, which you may have seen in my camper van, which actually has also a slightly higher output rate for the inverter, so I can run like my coffee machine or my milk frother off it. So this one, actually, now I fixed it, but I replaced the fuse inside, and it actually works really well. It's still got a really strong battery. You can see it's still fully charged here. You can see the lights on there. And what I thought I'd do is, rather than faff about with getting a 12-volt battery for Lulu the lugger, I thought I'd just use this. It's got 288 watt hours based on 12 volts. So that gives you 24 amp hours, which is quite a lot of amp hours to run things on the boat. Now, the other benefits this has got is, first of all, to charge it. So if the battery by all else fails and I need to charge the battery, all I need to carry with me is a figure of 8 plug lead, plug it in. I could be on my travels, I could find a Starbucks or a friendly cafe, plug it in, and within a few hours it's probably charged up. You can also charge it from a car via the 12-volt connector, and there is also a solar input. And I'm going to, you may have noticed the solar panel here. We're going to come on to that in a minute. But the other benefits are that it's got loads of outputs built right in. So here's USB, a Type-C USB. Now, these aren't fast charging. This is where this unit starts to show its age a little bit. But one thing it has got that's really useful are these 12-volt outputs. And all you need to do is get one of these sort of connectors, and bingo, you've got a 12-volt output. Now, these make for a very handy way of not only wiring up accessories on the boat, but actually unplugging them and plugging them back in really quickly. So yeah, already you can see I can charge all my phone, my GoPro batteries here. 12-volt would be, if I've got any lights on the boat, maybe. A tiller pilot, which is something I might be getting hold of. Watch this space. What else was 12 volt? Oh, my CB radio, my VHF radio charges off 12 volt. And also, if you get like a little depth sounder, which I'm thinking of doing, that's also 12 volt. In fact, most stuff on a yacht is 12 volt. The other thing you can do, you can switch the whole unit on and off. So it's got like a master on and off switch, and it's got an inverter. So you can power 240 volt appliances off here. Obviously, there's a an efficiency drop when you do that, so they recommend multiplying your total watt hours by 0.85 to account for that, but that still gives you a useful sort of 18 to 20 watt hours of you know, charging up laptops and things like that. Now, I don't even know whether the latest sort of MacBooks and stuff charge off 12 or whether they need sort of 19 volt, but you know, it gives you that option. You know, you are able to charge all kinds of stuff off here, and you know, so it's worth having. It also comes in a robust carry case. So one thing about lithium ion batteries on a boat are that, you know, you need to protect them because you don't want them to get damaged, and this does that job really well. It's got a carry handle, so you can take it from the boat quite easily, and this is lithium ion based, so it's still quite light. I think it feels about 2 to 3 kilos, you know, in weight. I didn't want a lead acid battery. I think they're, you know, having got one in the camper van, they're just too much like hard work to keep maintained, and they're very heavy and big. So, you know, and at the end of the day, I've got this. Oh, one other thing it's got, built-in fans for cooling and all kind of gizmos that, you know, that you need, you know, literally that makes this just plug and play. So if I've got this on the boat, I need to charge it up. The main way we can charge this up is with this solar panel that I've bought. Now, this is apparently a 50 watt solar panel. I'm not so sure if that's 50 watt, but there we go. But it does work, and I've had loads of bits and bobs charging off this. Now, the important thing is this. I have been trying to work out how to charge this battery with this solar panel. Now, the obvious thing that you should do is buy a solar charge controller. And I've got one of these. I've used one of these. They're £12. I think this was an Allpowers unit, but they're pretty generic. I've had one in the camper van for ages, and it works really well. So I can use my other big fold-out solar panel to charge the battery. But on this, it didn't really seem to work. I could not get it to work properly at all. It was really confused. I tried to charge the battery up through the 12 volt connector here and this 12 volt solar input here, but it did charge the battery, but it was not reporting back the battery properly. However, I'm going to put a link in here. Thank you so much to Dad Vinci. He's the first guy on YouTube that's given me a real once over on how you charge the battery in these things. I'd go and check out his channel. If you're into batteries and solar panels and things like that, go and check his channel out. He's brilliant, and it's really, really enjoyable to watch his videos as well. I'll put a link in my description. But he's actually told me all you need to do is plug your solar panel straight into that solar charger. And this light here, you may be able to see that little red light. If I just tilt the solar panels towards the light I've got here, you'll see it's now on. And it will stay red until it's charged, and I think it goes green when it's fully charged. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this charging. It's a little bit idiosyncratic, this battery. You have to keep the AC on to see the charge lights. But I'm just going to leave it charging. I might even take it outside. It's obviously a miserable mid-September day today. But we're going to see if this solar panel will charge this up, and then whether the charge controller will stop the battery from charging. Because if that's the case, we have just got ourselves a brilliant battery and charge solution for the boat. And all I would need to then do is make sure we waterproof all this wiring. Maybe we got to waterproof these USB ports as well. I don't really know whether they'd be useful on the boat, but we can just silicone in those. So we need a new cable that's, you know, robust and waterproof. We need a way of fixing the battery in the boat, because if that starts rolling around, you know, it could cause some damage to the hull. And we also need a way of securing this solar panel. Now, at the moment, I've got these little sticky things that come out. They're quite tight in, but you know, we could either tie the panel off or create a little frame for it. I don't know yet. I'm going to charge the battery up, see if we can get it fully charged today, and then we'll see about making some accessories and planning how we're going to fit this to the boat. Here's the cable finished, nicely sealed, and then one side will go into the solar panel. So you can see this is the solar panel, and the other side will go into the charge port of the battery. And this should keep the battery topped up, but obviously we'll need testing. It's only a 50-watt panel, so it is going to be limited when you add into the efficiencies or inefficiencies of the solar panel. Might not be enough to keep things charged up, but let's see. We'll give it a test and we'll see.